Hello and all, welcome to a Galaxy Man Show interview show. So for my very next guest today is this incredible singer and songwriter known by the name of Meagan Lima. So I'm about to add Meagan into the live now to have a chat with Meagan. So yeah, let's add Meagan in and have a chat with Meagan.
Hi.
Hi Meagan, how's it going?
Good. How are you, Jacob?
Yeah, really good, thanks. I just want to say first up, thank you so much for taking the time to join my show. It's such a pleasure having you on.
I'm
Uh,
happy to be here. I'm happy to be here.
To people that don't know who you are, Meagan, if you can give like a bit of backstory about who you are and what you do, and then we'll dive right into the questions.
Sure. So I'm an R&B singer-songwriter from Toronto, and I've been doing music full time for a while now. Me and you met actually on TikTok, which is crazy.
Yes, we did. Yes.
and, and then we connected on Instagram. So yeah, I'm just doing music full time in Toronto, and it's definitely been a switch lately, but just trying to release more music and excited to share some new things very, very soon, which is cool.
So for my very first question, so you actually created this incredible song called On and On. What was like the whole experience like coming up with like the idea of wanting to create this song, and what's the meaning behind this song?
Yeah, so On and On, I actually wrote during, I wrote it last year, and I wrote the song about a relative that had passed away at that time, so it kind of like inspired the song's idea. And pretty much it's about like when someone leaves you that you miss them. So it's a really upbeat song, so you actually would never know that was like the meaning behind it, but that's kind of like the background story, I guess. And the cool thing about On and On was it was recorded virtually because it was the first song I ever did virtually with my producer because of the pandemic. Which sounded like it was cool just because it was a learning experience. And I got to pivot that way. So I was happy with how that one turned out.
Awesome. So on to my very next question. So you have also created this other song called You Can, hopefully I say this right, You Can. What was like the whole experience like coming up with the idea of wanting to create You Can? And like what's like the whole meaning behind You Can?
Yeah, so You Can is a song about mental health. It's about dealing with, anxiety, depression, just when you feel like everything is too much. And it's, a song about believing yourself and making yourself uh, feel like that you were able to do the things that at the moment that you feel like you can't do. So I wrote that song for myself actually to get me out of a place where I didn't feel like I was good enough. And I have a lot of songs like that where I'll play them at a later time and to get me, into a more happy mood. I like make therapy songs almost for myself. And that's what You Can kind of turned out to be this blessing about. I wrote it for myself at that time. And even though I don't always feel like that all the time, I can still visit that song later on and it can help me in different ways, which is kind of cool.
Well, can I just say, like, I actually had to listen to like all your songs that we mentioned today in this interview, and like your vocals and like the songs that you've created have been truly sensational. And I just want to say that first up, your vocals are truly sensational, and you have so much like a gift of talent, and it's just incredible. So I just want to say that first up.
That's so kind. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. So on to my very next question. So you have actually created this other song called Unfold Me. What was like the whole experience like creating this song, and what's the meaning behind this song?
So Unfold Me is actually one of the main singles I've ever released. That was a while ago, 2018, I would say. And Unfold Me was about, it sounds really vulnerable, but it was about, like letting somebody in when you feel like you're not ready for love. That's what that song is about. And yeah, the process of that song was just a whirlwind, like from making the music video to releasing it and just like putting a part of me that was so vulnerable in the world out in the world was kind of crazy, but it was a growing point and I'm really glad that it's out there.
So on to my very next question. So you have actually created this other incredible song called Inside. What was like the whole experience like getting to create this incredible song, and like what's the whole meaning behind about Inside?
Yeah, so actually inside, you can really interpret inside as anything. For me, I wrote that song about my relationship with music. And inside was about how I felt on the inside, really. And it was about, I had this, I've always had like this push and pull about music. Is it the right thing for me? Is it not the right thing? And I feel like a lot of artists go through that. and Inside was about, you know, finding and igniting that passion for music again. So that was the meaning behind that song, and I took a definite different route, I think, with like production and the way that it turned out. But yeah, that's kind of like the background history, I guess, about Inside.
So on to our very next question. So you've actually created a song called Just Fine. What was like the whole experience like getting to come up with the idea of wanting to create Just Fine? And what's like the whole meaning about behind the song?
Yeah, Just Fine is about loving somebody in your life, you know, your parents or friends, partner, and it's about trying to support them when they're going through a lot. So it's like, you know, you're already dealing with the stuff that's on your plate, but trying to support your loved ones. That's what Just Fine is about. Just Fine is about, you know, we're going through so much, but no matter what, we're going to be just fine. We're going to make it out okay.
Awesome. So on to our very next question. So who inspired you as a person to like get into singing in the first place?
My inspiration would definitely be my family. My parents are like my inspiration for everything. They're kind of like these strong human beings that just, I don't know, I'm just very grateful for them. And in terms of music, like they always raised me, you know, listening to different music and different sounds. And my family are very artistic people. So like they always kind of like, you know, you're going to be the singer, you're going to be in music kind of thing. So it was like foreshadowing my whole life. But yeah, they were my main inspiration, I would say, to be where I am right now.
Awesome. So on to our very next question. So what does performing music mean to you, like especially as an artist?
So performing, so it means a lot to me. I have actually grown an appreciation, I would say, for performing more in the past year than I ever have before. And that's because I used to battle with a lot of anxiety for performing, like pre, you know, COVID year. And it's because I would do it and I would just, you know, I would get so hard on myself for all these performances I would do. And now doing, you know, virtual performances, I would miss kind of being in person with something, like, you know, going to see you in person and just like singing to people in the flesh it's a different vibe and you feel energy in a different way. So yeah, I definitely miss performing in that way. And I think having that connection with people is just so important when being an artist.
Awesome. So on to our very next question. So if you could work with any top three music artists in the industry, who would they be and why?
That's a hard question. There's a lot of people. I'm gonna like narrow it down. I feel like, let's say like in the next couple of years, like let's say 5 years to be, yes, give me some time. I was gonna say 5 years, three people. I would say Tom Misch, and maybe I'm shooting for the stars here, but Tom Misch, Georgia Smith, Leanne LaHavis are probably three on my list. Maybe Mahalia. Yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah, those would be like my 3 to 4 immediate list, I would say.
Awesome. So on to our very next question. So what have you learned about yourself, like as a person, like especially during COVID?
I've learned to I've become more understanding, I would say, like to you know, just like adapt to what everybody is dealing with, like on their own story and their own journey and their own level. So I feel like I've become more understanding that way, and I feel like I've learned to pivot more. So I would say, like, you know, things that I didn't know I could do before, I've like tried to learn how to edit a video or do different things. So I've been trying to like step out of my comfort zone a bit more for that. But yeah, just I think the main thing is just being more patient and understanding is something that I've been working on in the last year, just because you never know like what people's background is and like their journey and what they're going through. So just trying to do that.
Awesome. So on to our very next question. So what are like the positive sides and negative sides into like the music industry, and how do you like get through those negatives?
Okay, so that's probably like a very broad question, but I'll say the positive side is doing living a life of where you can do music where you have a passion for it. I think it's an honor to do something like you're really passionate about. Definitely is at the end of the day. The negative would be the mental health behind, you know, the battle of being an artist. That for me is like definitely a thing. And overcoming those negatives with mental health, I would say there's a lot of things that I've been working on and that I use as tools, whether it be, finding a good support system, people that you can rely on and count on, whether it be family, friends, any type of relationships that you feel that you're supported, or, anything that you say is being held, I think is really important. Using just like, there's like lifelines, honestly, just like things that you can text or call when you're feeling really sad or you're dealing with conflicting emotions, that can really help. Therapy is a really, positive thing. And I feel like we're at the time now where like people are breaking the stigma about therapy, which I think is a really, really beautiful thing, because people can't suffer anymore in silence. And I think, it's been literally a game changer in my life. So I just tell everybody, when you find people that you can support you through all the stuff you're going through, then you can try your best to be the person you are, and you can try to live your life of purpose. Like, I can be a musician, I can be an artist and enjoy all the positives, because I'm also giving time for those negatives, and I'm giving time to heal those negatives, which I think is really important for artists to do, and for mental health.
So on to the very last question. So what's like next for you, like for the rest of 2021, like music wise, that you would like to announce on the show?
I'd like to announce on the show. So I'm releasing some new music starting June, July, and then probably ongoing into the fall. And yeah, I'm excited for that to be released. I'm working with a really cool team for that I just actually got on board with in the past couple weeks. So I'm excited for that to start rolling out. I've kind of kept it all a really big secret. And yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be some of the songs I'm releasing in the next couple of months are going to be definitely out of my comfort zone. And I think it's going to help me grow a bit, which is good. It'll be good for me.
Awesome. Well, would you like to perform one of your songs on the show, by the way?
Sure, I can definitely perform one of your songs.
Awesome.
Cool. I got my guitar right here.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to sing an original called You Can, which I just released. Close. This song goes out to anybody who feels like they're not good enough. I want the song to remind you that you're beautiful, you're worthy, you're talented, you're everything and more in a world that constantly tells you that you can't. You're capable. You can move high if you choose. It ain't gonna be your take to lose. Oh, you can be free, you can be proud. Trust and believe it right now. You can move high if you choose. Ain't gonna be your take to lose. Oh, you can be free, you can be proud. Trust and believe it right now. Every day we face the same thing. How do I start? How do I get good and not good enough? Should I risk it all? If my heart's wide open, then I'm bound to follow. There's a fire deep inside. Sometimes it burns, times I hide. So you jump right in. If you let it out, then you find a way. No doubt, you can move higher if you choose. Ain't gonna be no take to lose. Oh, you can be free, you can be proud. Trust and believe it right now. You can move high if you choose. Ain't gonna be a take to lose. Oh, you can be free, you can be proud. Trust and believe it right now. All the voices get into your head, but you ain't ready to do this yet. Let me make this clear, baby, that's all bullshit. When you got one life, you choose how to live it. Oh, there's a fire deep inside. Sometimes it burns, sometimes it hides. So you jump right in. If you let it out, then you find a way. No doubt, you can move high if you choose. Ain't gonna be a take to lose. Oh, you can be free, you can be proud. Trust and believe it right now. You can move high if you choose. Ain't gonna be a take to lose. Oh, you can be free, you can be proud. Trust and believe it right now. You are everything, can do anything. You are everything, can do anything. You are everything, can do anything. You are everything, can't do anything. You are everything, you can't do anything. You are everything, can't do anything. You can move higher if you choose. Ain't gonna be a take to lose. Oh, you can be free, you can be proud. Trust and believe it right now. You can move higher if you choose. It ain't gonna be a take to lose. You can be free, you can be proud. Trust and believe it right now.
Yes. Yes, Meagan.
Thanks, Jacob.
You're very welcome. Well, can I just say thank you so much for taking the time again for joining my show. It's been such a pleasure having you on, Meagan. Do you have like any last final thoughts that you'd like to say to people on the show?
I just want to say thank you for having me. I was just telling my mom, I was like, oh, I'm having this call with Jacob, and we met on TikTok, and now we're talking on Instagram. And I just think, honestly, it's just nice to connect with you and to have this conversation. So, yeah, if you guys don't follow me and reach out. I'd love to hear from you. But honestly, just like thanks for the chat, and thanks for supporting artists so much. I think it's really cool.
You're very welcome. Well, thank you again, Meagan. It's been such a pleasure. Stay safe, and tell your mum to stay safe also.
I will. Bye.
See ya.
If I could go back one day, I wouldn't take you for granted. Tell you everything's okay. I know what I had when I had it. I miss you all the time. You're not here by my side. If I could have a moment more, I wouldn't make any excuses. Tell you what we're fighting for. I know what I lost for, I lost it. Hurts when you're gone. On and on and on and on. I play this song on and on and on, just so I'm close to you, for you to be close to me. I'm not okay without you, I'm not okay. If I could have another chance, give you all the love to make it stronger. Give you all of me. If it meant I have you a second longer, you're where I belong. On and on and on and on. I play this song on and on and on. Oh, just to be close to you, for you to be close to me. I'm not okay without you, I'm not okay. Ooh, I sing this song